Welcome back to Force Education. This is Zeth. Today I'm going to be talking again about Gevo. At any point of this video, if you feel you're missing on the technical analysis I'm going to go through, you'll find in the description below indicators that explains each of them what they mean. I'm going to give a lot of focus in the research part, due diligence, and then start with technical analysis and then that. Make sure to drop a like to this video to help the channel grow, subscribe and leave your notifications on, and let's jump right into it. So on the 1 week perspective, what we get to see here is an MACD that attempted to go towards a bit negative but seen a positive side today. Now on the average directional index, it shows a very strong indication that a trend might be forming soon, although the William percent R here is sitting at oversold. So the oversold part is bearish. ADX looks bullish. Now on momentum looks incredibly bullish, as you get to see momentum is actually climbing back up, and you get to see unbalanced volume, it's stable, so that's good. Moving average just doesn't tell us anything at that point, so I'm going to ignore it there. On the 1 day perspective, we get to see that the ADX shows it's just at the tip of creating a very bullish move, a strong indicator there. Now William percent R is overbought, and that is dangerous. Momentum here is actually climbing up and it looks amazing. Volume looks like it poured in really nicely today, and that is an amazing sign. An unbalanced volume is where inflow is a lot bigger than outflow. Looks really bullish on that side. Moving averages went from somewhat sideways bearish to almost fully bullish. Now as soon as 123 hits up, that is a significant mark, the 120 to 123. Past that, we can get to see a lot of significant profits here. On a 1 hour perspective, and we're just doing this just for an hour perspective, so the next few hours, way above the VWAP, it hit to 41.25. It crossed the 120 to almost 140, hit 143. Above the VWAP, moving averages look incredibly bullish. ADX shows in there might be just a slight pullback, but it's a very, very strong trend. William percent R is it's a little bit towards neutral, but it's still overbought. Momentum looks incredibly bullish. MACD looks bullish, so you do expect that it probably might see a little bit of a pullback, but it looks still that it's actually bullish and it's going to move forward. Moving average band, even though it hasn't been very accurate, but for the sake of the argument, I'm going to mention it. Bottom 0.85, middle 0.94, and top 0.03. And you get to see it hasn't really followed that, so I'm not going to give it much sense. Now on the stochastic, we get to see on the fast one, it's actually way up. So usually when it's at way up, that's kind of an indication that it's gone way up fast. But it's been an uptrend, so that might be a signal for a warning. But the stochastic slow isn't yet at the tip or at the top there. It's not curving up, so it doesn't show that there's a tip and it's kind of curving down. That is a good indication, and so it looks like it's bullish with a sign of a warning. Now it has actually broken through a rectangular bullish sign, and that is amazing, just because it does give us an indication that this one here is a bullish sign on a pattern. Now if we were to look into Fibonacci retracements, 120 is a significant support currently for Fibonacci retracement. Resistance at 166 and another one at 203. Now what we can do here is as well double check on supports and resistances to get an idea where our price point breakthrough would be. So currently I believe it was sitting very close to 140. Very significant support / resistance, depending on where it ends today, is going to be at 139. Beyond 139, you get to see there's not much going on in the recent times. Now the next one after 139, you're probably looking at 147, then above that 149, and then above that we're looking at 159 or 160. Beyond 159, 160, you can easily see it hit the $2. That is amazing news for us. On a support right now, a very strong one at 120. That is a very significant one. And then 117, you'd find a lot of weaker hands putting their stop limits probably around 116. Now another one significant at 112, and then a really significant one happening at 101. So that is amazing news for us. Let's take a quick look into the latest news. So why did this one jump? What is the catalyst coming up? Now the catalyst coming up is at 9 a.m. today. We received that yesterday. There's an indication for a webinar coming in tomorrow at 12 p.m. on October 8th. And so that is the current catalyst. There is expectations that there's going to be from the CEO bit of news or a bit of insight in terms of the company, perhaps some of the progress. Remember how they were increasing and expanding their plans. You can find that about it in my last video in the description below. And there's a lot of indications regarding the $1.5 billion in contracts coming in. This is their website. And we get to see as well, they do have around $81.7 million. They did have an offering, I believe, less than a month ago, or around a month ago, where it actually did jump to around 220. So they already have enough cash, so I wouldn't be worried about offering, for instance. The next thing coming in as well is trying to look at their events, and you get to see the last one was September 9th, except the one happening tomorrow. So that is exciting. You can actually register on their website. I definitely would be watching it as well. Institutional buyers, we don't see anything significant in the recent times for institutional buyers. Similarly, insider buyers, we don't see anything as well coming in. The next thing coming in is one of the bigger companies here. ExxonMobil is actually going on to marine biofuel. And so with marine biofuel, especially as well with MSC seeing hydrogen biofuel in future mixes, that is a strong indication that there might be a massive movement even in the marine. So remember, it's more about aviation for Gevo. We can actually get to see as well, perhaps in the future, for marine development. So there's definitely a future for this one here, and it looks quite exciting. Now, just a small thing to consider. Usually at conferences, what we get is at the start of the conference or at the start of the day, we see this massive drop. And that's where stop limit rate happens. And so if it doesn't hold its support, it's probably just going to keep dropping. So it's something regarding selling, buying the rumor, selling the news kind of indication, where I do expect after the conference, if nothing is announced that is completely exciting or something that we don't know, it probably will tank. So that's something to consider. If you're at 40% profit, for instance, right now, and you want to lock in profit, right now might be the time in the morning, for instance, or in the extended market to do so. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure you mention in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. You have a wonderful day.